I went to the garden centre in search of some plastic saucers to put under my bigger pots in my greenhouse to grow my tomatoes in, but I found these Stewart self-watering Balconniere, very French, very grand. But the beauty of it is that in the bottom here you've got this sort of arrangement with a pipe, and in here you're going to have a reservoir of water. When it gets too full, then the water can go out through these two holes here, and then the idea is that the compost that ends up in this little area here pulls all the moisture into the plants, so the plant take up what moisture they want, and you can water it through this clever tube, or you can talk to your plants through the tube if you want. So, hello plants, are you growing? Over. And there, see? So, don't forget to talk to your plants, they grow better if you do. So basically, it goes into there like that. And then you've got that little reservoir of water behind that black mesh, all these little holes, and particularly this area here lets the water come up into the compost, and then the plants will take it as they want. But I think this will be ideal for the tomatoes, because usually the biggest problem with tomatoes, particularly if you're watering them in grow bags, is that you can't really get enough water in. So I'm going to fill this with multi-purpose compost and probably a bit of farmyard manure as well, just to give it a bit more body. And then I'll plant some of my bigger tomatoes in there. Then the beauty of it is I can just water it through the watering hole when I'm not talking to them, and then any excess will run out underneath, but at least it will mean that they are they're regularly watered, because sometimes, you know, when you go away on holiday and they can get neglected. But this is looks like a good system to me. And to be honest, these were about £10 or so, whereas in the UK, I think the saucers were getting on for £5. So I think overall this is a more useful, it's a bit of an investment to begin with, but more useful long-term investment, not only for tomatoes but for other flowering plants, etc, etc. Ideal for a balcony, and if you don't fill the reservoir too full of water, then you won't get too much water coming out of the holes at the bottom to flood your little balcony. So quite a clever idea, really. When the water starts coming out from underneath, as it does there, you can just see it puddling there, then it means the reservoir is full, and now gradually that water will be taken up into the compost. But just keep an eye on it, because it'll probably be very thirsty to begin with, because the compost is reasonably moist but not that wet. So yeah, just keep an eye on it. Keep filling up the reservoir, and as I say, any excess will flood out and the remainder will stay in the reservoir, and keep it regularly watered. It will just take up what it needs, which is a much better way of looking after your tomato plants, in my view. If you want to just use your grow bags with your tomato grow bags, just pop the contents of those into a pot like this or similar, and grow them in there. As I say, just find it a bit easier to maintain the water supply and keep them well and accurately watered.